Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
An investigation is underway in Moorhead after officials found a man dead early this morning. A woman was also taken to the hospital. Valley News Team's Devin Fry joins us in the studio with the very latest. Devin?
Katie, the investigation into what Moorhead police are calling a suspicious death is still ongoing. This was the scene earlier this afternoon as police and the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension were continuing their investigation about 12 hours after the body was first found. They tell us that around 2:50 this morning, a man's body was found in a neighborhood near the MSUM campus. There was also a woman with non-life-threatening injuries on scene who was transported to the hospital for treatment. Neither of those individuals have been identified yet. You can see that a big area around that house on 18th Street South was roped off by police tape, and authorities were very thoroughly examining a car which was parked in front of the house. That was towed away around 3 o'clock. Moorhead police also say in their statement that there's no threat to the public. At this point, that's what we know about the situation. We've been in contact with the Moorhead Police Department for more information, but nothing is available yet. We will, of course, be monitoring the situation here at Valley News Live, and we'll provide all updates as they become available.
All right, thank you so much, Devin. As he said, stick with Valley News Live as we learn more about this investigation. Today, North Dakota hit a grim milestone for COVID-19, surpassing 400 deaths in the state. North Dakota's daily positivity rate for COVID-19 topped 10% for the sixth time in the last 7 days, as health officials reported 716 new cases. Cass, Burleigh, and Grand Forks counties all had more than 100 positive tests. October is already the deadliest month for the state since the pandemic began, with 134 deaths compared to September's 122. In Minnesota, 17 new deaths are being reported, the state with a death toll of 2,234. The state reported more than 1,700 COVID-19 cases. For healthcare workers on the front lines of coronavirus, there's real concern that an already bad situation could get much worse. In some states, just a handful of hospital beds remain. Here's Aaron McLaughlin with the doctors and nurses being pushed to the limit.
Tonight, across the country, nurses and doctors are exhausted.
Burnout is a very real limitation to what we can and can't do.
Hospitals and resources are strained. 15 states now reporting record hospitalizations. Just 18% of Tennessee's hospital beds are available. It's even worse in the ICU. In Oklahoma, there's an even bigger shortage. And the ICU in one of Utah's largest hospitals reached capacity Friday. So it created a spillover section to accommodate the sickest patients. Christine Hermanson's mother is in the ICU.
I'm just very grateful for everything that they've done and knowing that they're overwhelmed.
A difficult time for families and for those offering them critical care.
I'm asking a lot of my nurses right now, and I'm probably going to need to ask for more.
In April, Salt Lake City's convention center was turned into a field hospital, but never used and taken down. Now health officials are standing by to convert it once again.
They are really getting to the point where it's going to be literally unsustainable.
In North Dakota, 4% of the population has now contracted the virus, most within the last few weeks. There are only 20 ICU beds left in the entire state, and just 2 in the state's capital.
I've never seen anything like this.
Renee Wellhouse has been a nurse practitioner there for 12 years.
It's challenging because the stress level can be up there when we don't know what to expect every day.
In many small towns, doctors fear the worst is yet to come.
It doesn't take long for a small hospital in the Midwest to fill up. It doesn't take New York type numbers to make my little town of Jasper, Indiana feel like New York on the inside of the hospital.
And with the desperation, frustration that the country's been here before.
Do your part, America. We're depending on you because we want to go back to normal just as much as anybody else.
Political observers say the pandemic is fueling a surge in early voting. In North Dakota, more people have already voted by mail this year than the entire 2016 general election cycle. As of Friday, more than 94,000 people have returned their ballots. In the last general election, more than 84,000 people voted by mail. This year's votes include more than 13,000 from Burleigh County and 7,000 in Ward County. Officials are investigating an overnight apartment fire in Fargo. Just after midnight, firefighters were called to the Cooper House Apartments off of 11th Street North. Firefighters found a unit filled with smoke. Officials say the building's sprinkler system had already put out the fire. Officials say the fire was contained to a mattress and bed coverings. Water from the sprinklers did affect several other units in the building. The people inside the apartment had safely evacuated before the fire department arrived. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and with cybercrime on the rise globally, your personal data could easily be put in danger if you aren't careful online. IT experts say the upcoming holiday season is a popular time for bad actors online. A common scam is an email with harmful links disguised as shipping notices or other deals.
If someone's prompted you for a username and a password, make sure you're on their legitimate website, right? Don't just click and enter in your bank account username and password as an example, right? So be aware of that.
Kaler says scammers can also target you through your cell phone. For example, you may receive a text from a random number with a link. Kaler says you should never click on any links unless you know who sent it to you. A new carbon capture project is underway, and this project could also be good news for corn growers. The project near Underwood is designed to prevent the more than 200,000 tons of CO2 emissions the facility produces every year. Ag Commissioner Doug Goring says while it will help with the Renewable Energy Initiative, it will also indirectly assist corn growers.
The corn farmer is going to benefit by selling this corn to the ethanol facility. The ethanol facility, by taking and extracting the CO2 off from it, they get to sell a premium fuel into the market.
Goring says there is a premium price paid for ethanol with a smaller carbon footprint. The new test well is currently drilling to see if the ground formation is fit for CO2 storage. Still ahead tonight, after more than a year of being grounded, the Boeing 737 MAX might make its return. But first, a look at your forecast as more snow chances are on the way.